Welcome to the Thursday Night 9, your weekly hangout with the Amateur Players Tour. Join hosts Matt Mender and Matt Fegley as they dive into recaps, rules, and what's coming up next across the tour. It's by the players, for the players, and it all starts right now, live on the Thursday Night 9.
Coming to you live from parts unknown until announced. You got the B Squad. The handicaps are Matt Fegley here with the one and only Atlanta, Birmingham chapter owner, Mr. Timmy Harvey. How you
What's
doing,
up, Fegley?
Here.
Still looking for Mender to join us, and apparently that's not happening. Oh, yeah. What is that?
That's the High Point Panthers. The upset of the weekend so far. Although I didn't put them in any of my APT brackets.
Yeah, well, I'm just, we actually, from what I saw, the turnout for the APT brackets were pretty good, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, I got
north of 100.
I would think so. We were looking. I was going to look, but man, it's been a fun day. Watching baskets and getting ready for this, live show with some special guests that I don't know. We've got technical problems, so we'll see what happens.
I will say this: you've had a better day betting on the basketball games than I have. I finally did win one right before we come on the air with Arkansas coming through for me. So, shout out to Rob Luter on that one. Appreciate that, and you and your Hogs.
Exactly. The Hawaii Rainbows unfortunately had too many miles on their planes, apparently, to make it much of a game, but. We can say where we are. We are in Franklin, Kentucky. There is a lovely horse track. So I went to high school about 30 miles north of here in Bowling Green, and they have a racetrack down here called Kentucky Downs. They run in the fall from September to – they run in September, and it's an old school European grass track. It's pretty cool. But they built a lovely sports book. Circa Sports Book is known in Vegas, and they've built a satellite location here. This is actually the biggest sports book east of the Mississippi, allegedly. And so we've been watching basketball games all the time with Tim and a couple of my buddies from high school. So it's been a good time, but getting to see parts of the country. We got a good weekend ahead of us. We got the Macklemore Major. The reason the B Squad is here is because Chris is on the road. I don't know if he's going to give us live shots from the road or what, but we had him on the road, and Chris Isom, Chris Van Spankeren, and Mackenzie are all driving the bus down south. So it's going to be a great weekend down there. I know you played it last year, correct?
I did play it last year, and the Keep, it was something special last year, even though it wasn't even grown in. So kind of jealous of everybody that's going to get to play that one this weekend when it's had another year to grow and get some of the sod seams filled in and get some of the rough filled in. But, it should be spectacular. Weather's going to be a lot better than it was last year. Last year it was spitting rain and very, very cold, and I think we're looking at somewhere in the 70s for this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So
okay. You can't complain. So just like that, in the way that every nice, wonderful thing comes together, one of our special guests is going to jump on live from Macklemore / the Keep, somewhere on property. We got Mr. Nathan Frazier.
How are you guys? Doing
great, man. I know we've had all kinds of fun things with me trying to figure out how to run the show, so
I was going to check and see if the link you sent was the right one, or the second one was the right one, or the third or the fourth. I was able to get on. Sorry, I was eating dinner. Alderucci. I told him, I said, if you would shut up, we could eat, and the food won't get cold. Just quit talking and eat. But it didn't work. So sorry, I'm a little late.
That's okay.
Just remind him there's no coming in from the background just to get screen time. We want no part of Alderucci on the call.
I've told him to stay away and don't be here.
I can't wait. He needs to get on one of the methods, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, and just jump on and start ridiculing all of us. It'll be fun. But
no, he doesn't. I've heard his voice enough. He's staying at my house. I'm good without him anywhere right now. And I mean that in the most loving, kind way I can say it.
Exactly. Oh man, that's great. Oh, so how has your madness been doing? Have you been playing? Did you play golf? Did you take advantage of the weather and play golf today? Were you watching hoops? What'd you do today?
I did play today. I won't say I commandeered or stole, but I went to the cart barn where we used to have a beverage cart here. One of our old ones. I found where they had an iPad holder that goes on a golf cart,
Oh, nice.
and I told them this has been sitting there for a year, so it's free game. I put it on my golf cart. I had an iPad. I played golf and watched basketball at the same time.
Dude, that's awesome. That's great. The beauty of, I wonder what's in here. Oh, this looks useful.
Yeah.
Member
It worked pretty well.
member owned club or not, it is what it is, right?
It's
And
membership
about to
has its
happen, I think.
privileges, right, Nathan?
Yeah. Do what?
Membership has its privileges, right?
Yeah, and here it is. I knew it would happen.
Well,
All
it's
right,
like
go
a
on now.
planet. It's like a planet. Oh my gosh.
UConn.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh,
It's
Oh, I'm glad Mender's not on tonight. Mender would be having a heart attack right now.
it's
Minder would still be trying to figure out how to score a layup.
It's fair.
My bad. It was too easy because
It's
UConn
fair.
got
I,
mentioned,
I
so.
definitely I will say we had a good time today. We played the keep. What just happened?
I have some eye issues. Sorry. Whew, it's bad.
I don't know what
Ooh.
happened.
I don't know what Nathan has just done here.
I don't know. Hold on.
It's so good he dropped off.
No clue. Stand by for more.
And of course, Van Spankeren just says that him and Isom are watching now. So, and he's getting to see the top of the ceiling at Nathan's house. So it's fantastic.
I'm not at the house. I'm at the club.
Oh, nice.
Oh, even better. Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
there. Back to his lovely face. There we go.
All right, there we go. No, we played the keep today. We had a good time. I played 9 holes, and then I had to get back and do work emails and stuff like that. And
Nice.
Mr. Neff and Chris played the back 9. They stayed and played. I always enjoy watching people that haven't played that course stand over a putt and feel like, oh, this looks pretty easy. I'm like, yeah, it is. Just hit it, and they'll blow it by 12 feet by just tapping it. I try and tell them, and then at the end, I'm like, I told you at the beginning, I'll tell you where to hit it, not to hit it. So,
Hey, will you tell them not to put the pin on 11 in the back left again? Because that gets brutal down there and it snaps like a dang turtle shell.
On which course? The keep?
The keep.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that snap like that. Chris hit a ball on number 7, the par 5, today. And he was like, oh, that's good. It was like 5 feet behind the hole. I said, no, it's not. So I hit a hybrid in. It's a par 5. I hit a hybrid in on my second shot and had like 25 feet below the hole. And he was sitting there. And I said, make sure you watch my putt. And he said, why? I said, you'll see. So I hit my putt. I left it to like 2 feet, tapped in for birdie. He hits his putt. His ball ended up where mine was, 25 feet past the hole. I said, that's why I told you to watch the putt.
Exactly.
I said, because you have no shot.
You're gonna wind up here.
You're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, it looks like our additional guest is in the background. I'll wait for his face to pop back up so we can get him to. Oh, there he is. He heard his name. So Those of you wondering, we've got a special guest related to the lovely golf courses we're playing here tonight. So we're going to bring on one of the architects of the fine property, Mr. Bill Bergen. Bill, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you guys? Sorry I was late. I had grandparent duty, putting my almost 2-year-old granddaughter to bed, which is a pure joy.
Yes.
And, I did lose track of time with all the laughter and fun that is. So,
Dude,
I'm happy to join you guys.
that's all good. Thanks for coming on. If you would have joined on time or, had been on, you would have. Oh, it was
I
quite
would
the.
say this though. I think grandparent duty is the one thing that would trump APT responsibilities. Is that correct?
You hear that it is a very well-loved club, and everybody really likes it. And I'm falling right in line on that. It is unbelievable. And I have 2 little girls and 2 boys coming. So between two of my children, Matt, who works for me in the design business, so he's got a little boy coming in August, and he has a little girl, and then my daughter, she was the one who led the way with the first one, and she's got a boy due next month.
Okay,
so it's awesome stuff.
Fantastic.
That's great. That's great. That's good stuff. So where do we find you? What's your location right now?
So I'm in Atlanta today, which is great. And I travel a ridiculous amount visiting golf courses, and that is a pure joy, but it is a lot of travel. And starting next month through April and May, we end up having 6 jobs under construction, which means I'll be gone all the time. So, but it's fun. And it's, being in the dirt and as a designer, you imagine what you're going to do, and then you draw it, and then you build it. And I don't build it personally, but I do all the layout and all of that, and really kind of draw the golf course on the ground for the contractors. But it's like Christmas showing up when they've shaped a new greens complex or whatever we're doing. And while I don't particularly love as much traveling as I do, when I'm on site, that's a happy place. And you guys, I know, are talking about the Keep. And that was a place I never wanted to go home at the end of the day. And I still had a 2-hour and 15-minute drive home. And I just didn't want to leave because I loved being the last person. And you guys, if you're golfers, you know what I'm talking about. Being the last person on a golf course when you're playing is absolutely fantastic. But being the last person or out there kind of on your own at the end of the day when you're building a golf course, it is fabulous. It's as good as playing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Timmy, you got some questions? Or are we gonna how are we gonna do this?
I'll start with this because from a design standpoint, I'm sure he hates people like me. I'm a civil engineer by education, so I'm sure you hate when people like me say you can't make it work like that. So, is there any time that something like that, when that comes up and you have to kind of change your design to make it work with what's actually physically possible with a site?
So the Keep's a great example of that. And I would say this, so you'll appreciate this, Tim. We build what we draw. We really get really close. We don't change much. We've been, drawing golf courses for 35 years, and we do it all on AutoCAD. We're probably not as artistically creative as some of the architects who actually draw pictures. We don't do that, but we draw plans at work. And to me, that is very artistic. And, because I see it 3-dimensionally. And so, you go out to the Keep. If I showed you a set of plans for the Keep, you being a civil engineer, you'd look at it and then you'd go play it and you go, you know what? They did build what they drew, but we had to make changes all the time. And the reason we had to make changes on the Keep was simply there was rock under every inch of all the ground. And so literally we rock hammered for 2 years. We didn't blast as much as we thought. I thought we'd blast a lot more when I designed it. And then we didn't blast as much, but we rock hammered way more because getting all of our drainage lines in, all our irrigation lines in, all of that not sexy stuff that's under the ground has to be under the ground. And so that was a big ordeal out there. Even though you walk the site and you go, wow, this golf course lays beautifully on the ground. I mean, literally, the toughest spots were kind of between 1 and 14, where we've got the quasi. It's literally a giant dam. It's just giant. It's wide, which was supposed to hold back a nice 8-acre lake. And then 17, we filled 17 from right to left, about a 22-foot fill, which in golf course construction is enormous.
Yeah, that's
We think we make a big difference with a 2-foot cutter fill on site, and that was 22, so it was big.
That's cool. That's cool. So Tim, I'm gonna keep keep pressing on you to be the question guy. So
Pegley,
Yeah,
I
so-
sent you some pictures. I sent you
Yeah.
some pictures too. If you can show some of those,
absolutely.
you know,
which
Bill
ones
is.
do you want?
You can just go through them and we can talk through them.
I know the place by heart, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Bill can tell you, I've played there more than most people, I would say, because I play so much, but Bill can probably tell you more about them than me.
Well, Nathan, you can probably tell him more about which way the putts go. I know where
Right.
the green, I know what the greens do, but playing a golf course, whether it's breaking 6 inches or 12 inches.
Right.
Right. As a designer, you still got to play it in order to feel that stuff. But the 9th hole, we moved almost no dirt except for the back of the green. So those fairway bunkers, that fairway literally wasn't. I mean, it's just on grade. I mean, it's completely on grade. We elevated the tees barely, and you still can't see a ton. But we took that green and we built this, 50-yard deep green. So the crazy thing about the Keep is scale. Most courses, you look at and you kind of get especially golfers who've played a ton of golf, you get this sense of scale, you get this sense of distance. The Keep blows that away because we would be, sitting out at a certain distance and we, in the dirt, and we had rangefinders and all that stuff, and could measure where we were. And but we'd go, how far do you think that is? Especially on 16. How far is it to the green? And we'd look at it and go, it's about 185. No, it was about 2.25. Everything in the Keep is longer and bigger than it looks. And the 9th green, we'd have pictures of guys on the back of the green, and they looked like they were 3 feet tall because the green's so long. And really interesting. And I love that point on the golf course where you get out on that back left corner, and if you look above that green, that mountain outcropping up, right behind the green there. We've got that in a few places. I think 8 mimics the mountains in the distance really nicely. 9 does it. We're probably going to take that trailer out that's there now for a halfway house, and we're actually not going to have that behind the green because while it would be a fantastic place to have a little halfway house and look over the valley, it's just the edge there and 10 tee boxes, that is just a fantastic spot. So it was one of the key points. We had 2 key points on this golf course that were designed around, and that's where 18 green is and where 9 green is. And those were important points to our owner, Dwayne Horton. And so we don't have returning 9s, as you guys know, if you've played there. So you start on number 1 and you just go out, and you go out till you get back to number 18. And the whole time you can see the whole golf course. So it's very unique.
That's awesome. And
I'd say from number 9 green, one of the most neat things, I had a guy out there today that had not played it before. And after we put out on 9, we were walking to the halfway house, and I told him, I said, this is one of the coolest spots here because you can literally turn and see every single hole.
Yeah.
And it's
16
just,
greens
it's beautiful.
like that. Yeah. 16 green, you can see everything. It's really an incredible spot.
That's awesome. And that's what we're looking at here, right? This is 9, and then the 10 tee box in the background. Got it.
It's 9 green. And one of the weird things on number 9, I won't say weird, but so in this picture, if you see the tree over on the left side, the tall tree.
Yep.
When you're on the tee box, it looks like you should hit it at the green, if you hit it at the green, you can see this first bunker. You can't see the second one.
Got it.
So it's hidden. And so when you tell people that haven't played it, your sight line, like where you want to hit the ball, is that last tree. And just like Bill was referring to, things are a lot longer than they actually appear. When you look at that tree, they're like, I can't hit it there. It's going to go off the side of the cliff. And I said, okay, well, hit your driver as hard as you can at there. And if you hit it off the cliff, I'll give you a brand new Pro V1. And no one ever hits it off the side of the cliff.
No, Nate, that's a great comment, because you can hit it farther left on both 9 and 10 than you're comfortable with and be perfect.
Okay.
On both
The
holes.
other one is The other one to me is number 5. You hit over a waste area,
Right.
and Tim, I don't know if you remember that, but it's a waste area. It's a dogleg left that wraps around, and there's 2 rocks. And when you're standing on the tee, the visual facade looks like if I hit driver, I'm going to go in the trees on the other side of the fairway. But if you actually pull out a laser and shoot those trees, it's 310 to those trees from the
Yeah.
back tees.
Wow.
And it's a great shot. I love
That's
it.
all part
There's
of
a
the
lot of great
scale.
shots.
Yeah, it's all part
Right.
of the scale that how it sets up. And yeah, Nathan, that miss left on 5 is so common, and
Oh yeah.
actually hitting it at the bunker is a really good choice, as long as you don't go right of the bunker and leave yourself with a really long approach. But
Bagley, go back one picture.
One picture to this one or this one? This one right here?
That's number 8 green that he was referring to, and then you can kind of see the contour of the green and then the contour of the mountains behind it, how it blends in.
and even that rock out front kind of
Right.
angles like the mountain does in the distance. And we did that. That was all on purpose. That green, that's actually a pretty good fill because that was a low where that green went. So that was also a place where we moved dirt. But we moved so little dirt for clearing 200 acres. We only moved about 340,000 yards of dirt, which is not much on a 100-acre, site where you clear 100 acres. That would be pretty standard, and this was twice as big, and we moved that much dirt. Golf course is routed really beautifully. It just sits on the ground nicely.
So that is that's just a
sorry,
rock.
go ahead.
No, it's okay. That's just a rock outcropping that was there, and then you guys were digging around and found it and was like, oh, wow, or was it there before?
Yep. No, well, okay. So there were various rock outcroppings that we knew about, but that one on the original design, it was not part of the hole. And so, yes, we did expose it by cutting just in front, and then we filled behind it on where the low is. But it just sits perfectly if you carry the rock. And actually, you'll see that ridge line left of the green. This is a really long hole. It's like 260 from the back tees. And
every bit of it.
Yeah, and you can use the ground though. If you hit it left, you'd rather miss left than right. And if you hit it left with a rescue club or a fairway wood, depending on what you're using, you can use the slope. If you play the more forward tees, then you're hitting an iron into the middle of the green. But it's got that kind of a reverse redan where the low front part of the green is low, but once you get to that shadow, that upper right, everything feeds right. Back and right, and it's a one heck of a par. It could be my favorite hole in the golf course. I've loved it from the design, and I've loved building it, and I love playing it.
As someone that so I've always keep it on that one, Fegley. I'll talk about that one after that. Right. Yeah, either one of them at the same hole, but one thing I want to add, and I'm not trying to toot his whistle and stuff, but Bill went to Auburn, he played golf at Auburn, correct?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, and he 48 starts on the PGA Tour.
Actually 50, but that's because they can't count.
I'll give you the 2. I'll give you the 2.
Hey,
I'm with it.
The two are British Opens.
There you go.
I count them.
That
awesome.
100%. That 100% counts.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Bill's done some great work. I mean, he's had so many distinguished awards from the what is it, the ASGCA?
ASGCA, that's American Society of Golf Course Architects, and then we're doing well with Golf Digest and Golf Inc. and Golf Week magazines. We pop up there. We're about to show up in Golf Inc. on 2 projects next when it comes out in May. I can't tell you what they are, but they will be on the Golf Inc. awards list, which is nice.
Nice. So this hole here, what do we got?
It's the 17th hole. It's an uphill par 4. All of that rock is natural, all of it. Now, we did excavate around the edges of the rock to show it off more, and that in the middle of that fairway was where the 22-foot fill was. So it was a deep V, the whole thing. So that whole hole is fill. And it's nice and wide, which is great. And it's more fun from the up tee than the back tee. From the back tee, it's an uphill par 4, and you hit, a short iron into the green. From the middle tee area, you can drive it up where you're pitching, or long hitters can try to drive the green. You can bounce it off the rocks, all kinds of things that are cool that happen, but that's all natural. It almost looks like Disney World built this hole.
Okay.
It's just you kind of shake your head looking at these rocks, and that there's actually a golf hole in between. And we knew this was here. I thought it was a little severe. Back to your civil engineering, I thought it was a little bit severe, and I wanted to go above it. You look above the rocks left on this screen. I wanted to go up there and come around it, and then work back down 18. And Dwayne Horton insisted to try to build this golf hole, and he was right. He was absolutely right, because
Nice.
it worked very well. But we scrounged every bit of dirt we could on this property in order to make this work. And it's funny, I mentioned the 16th green as a favorite spot. This playing the keep is like reading a good book or watching a good movie. And you ever sit in a movie theater when it's really good and you look at your watch, not because you're ready to go, because you're concerned that it's going to end soon and you don't really want it to, because you're all in on the movie. Well, the 16th green at the keep is that spot for me where you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I have just had this extraordinary day. And then you turn the corner and you get to play this hole. And then you finish on 18T, which you get to look 75 miles out into the mountains. And you do feel like you're going to hit your drive off the cliff, but you're not. And it's really, really an incredible experience. And guys talk about that all the time, the experience of the keep. And it's one of those that we say, you got to experience it to believe it. Because it's, no matter what anybody shows you or just says to you about it, when you're there in person, it's just sort of mouth dropping.
Awesome. All right. So, okay. So this
real
is
quick
another view coming up, right?
Same hole. That's the approach.
Same hole.
You hit it out somewhere between those three bunkers, and you can have a sand wedge or a chip shot, or even a 9-iron or whatever into the green, depending on where you drive it.
Got it.
And Bill, I'll say this about that hole as well, from a walking standpoint. You can tell that it's uphill when you are on the tee boxes, but you can't tell that it's as uphill as it actually is when you actually start walking it.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to give you a
deceiving.
little secret, a secret on the golf course. So on most all of your climbing holes, you have a good opportunity to make birdie. Just think about that. When you climb up, you climb up 2.
I agree.
Good opportunity for birdie. You don't really climb again on the front 9, actually, much from there. It's pretty level. Then you get to 12. That's a big climb. Definitely a birdie hole. Then you get to 15. Pretty much a climb. More, up that hole. It's a long one, but up the hole, par 5, birdie hole. And then you get to 17. You climb the hill, birdie hole.
I agree.
That's a very important piece of information for everybody that's going to be playing that this weekend.
Yeah, it's on purpose, because then you get you exert some effort climbing those hills, and we do believe the golf course is very walkable, but it's a strenuous walk, but it's really walkable.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, and I carry my bag, and I'm 67 years old, and I carry my bag and walk it, and I'm fine.
I've never been on a golf cart on that course, and I don't plan to.
Yeah,
I enjoy walking it. When I'm on the green on 15, I'm not gonna lie, I take 30 seconds to catch my breath before I putt.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, you do need to take a minute. 13 tee box is where I have to. I go.
Oh yeah.
I look at my son who's younger. I said, "Why don't you hit first here?"
Yeah. Hey, one thing I wanted to add real quick that's kind of cool. Bill probably doesn't even know I know this, but so I'm Fegley, you do. I'm a purist. I'm a Seth Rayner guy at heart. And when he was talking about using number 8, the left side, to bounce it up if you have to. Bill, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I played Minnesota Country Club that you redid last year, Minnesota Valley. And it's a Seth Rayner course, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I have family up in Minnesota, and my uncle took me there to play. And as a Rayner guy, I love that place.
Thank you. It's a fun place. They're playing, I think, the State Open there this year, which is going to be exciting. And it's a par 73, which is really
Right.
unique because they have an extra par 5. And
Right.
great set of par 3s, a really fun golf course. And thank you. I'm glad you played it, and we enjoy that one very much. And the number
then,
two, the Redan
Of
number.
course,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
The Redan number, the second hole. So we created a lot of the Rainer templates. They weren't there. The club charged me to do that. And number 2 is just, you know, it is just a classic Redan, modeled after, not copied, but modeled after the Redan at Chicago Golf Club, which that's one of my favorite golf courses anywhere.
And for all you guys in Murfreesboro and Nashville, Michael Osborne was putting in there. You know, they're all looking forward to getting back out to Stones River and seeing your work there as well.
Excellent. Yeah, can't wait for it to grow in again. You know, you got to get past that first year on a new course, but can't wait to play it as it starts to green up this spring.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Nathan, anything in
Go ahead.
particular you want me to go over, or of what you said?
Go to that lady hitting the ball.
Okay, got it.
So this is number 17. If you ask me what my favorite hole in the course is, it's either 2 or 17. 2 is my favorite hole when I get a par or better. But it is the number 1 handicap hole, and it is a very testy second shot, and it usually has some wind in it at the Highlands course. But 17 is probably my favorite, just because a good drive can set up a birdie or an eagle if you play it correctly. And it's just a beautiful hole. And this is like, every time I play here, I just watch people putt, because on this green, you can kind of see from this picture, but the green almost looks like you're hitting into an uphill green. But when you get up there, I've had people take their iPhone out with them, and I'm like, open up your Level app and put it on the green, and you'll realize it really floats way off the back really hard.
Huh.
And so it's kind of a wild shot, but I love it. It's by far one of my favorite holes that I play anywhere.
Well, you and I must like the same golf holes, because I'm with you on both of those. 2 is one of the hardest holes we've ever been involved with. You know, honestly, it's probably 2 holes early in the round for you to be ready to play a hole like that. But incredible. And then 17 is just a joy. I actually like 16, 17, and 18 because of the ball striking. The ball striking and longer clubs that you actually get to use. You get to, you know, you're trying to get on 17 and 2. 16 is requiring 2 really solid strikes, and then 18 is 18. So it's a pretty cool finish, honestly.
And then
go ahead. So right here on 18.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say this is 18, right?
Yeah. So this one was it got ranked one of the top finishing holes in the world, I believe, by Golf Digest. And the best story I've heard was the smile. Bill, can you talk about the smile on your face when you came up out of the woods with sticker bushes all on you and everything? And I think you looked at Dwayne or somebody and said, "Hey, we got something down there."
Yeah. So this hole, so we renovated the old Canyon Ridge golf course to become Macklemore. And during the process of master planning, we didn't have room for a clubhouse really at all, for parking, for any of that. And our land planner, you know, was really like, "Hey, I don't have room to work here." And so Dwayne came to me and he said, "Hey, you think you could build a golf hole down on that lower shelf?" And we hadn't been down there. And so literally Matt and I went down, you'll laugh, but we went down with a 25-foot grade rod and a hand level, and we started shooting slopes because we didn't have good topo on that area. And we got down to the greens complex and knew we had a greens complex. But the rest of the hole was awful, miserable. I mean, just sloping hard from right to left. And there was a spot out by the tees that had a rock that must have been the size of a big 2-story house, that had a 3-foot diameter pine tree growing out of it that had to be 70, 80 feet tall. And so I came back up the hill. I said, "Well, I have an idea that we can do this. At a minimum, we have a really cool short par 4, but I think we can do it all." And we, you know, that tee spot, actually the back tee on that hole is the best tee on the course. on that hole because it angles you into the slope. And you're hitting away from the drop off on the left. But yeah, I was literally bleeding in shorts and bleeding from stickers and that the keep was a good one for that too, because that was all raw land. And so yeah, we put a little blood, sweat, and tears in our designs, and this one was one of those. But yeah, what a joy to have created this thing. I still want to work on it a little bit more. I'd like to just honestly heavily top dress the left half of the fairway and get a little more, just barely have a little more thatch, honestly, and a little bit more level, so your ball doesn't run quite as much. I think as we get turf quality to improve and develop a decent rough on the left side, the hole will be much better. And then we still have some. We're fighting at a spring. It's not in play. It's halfway between the lanyard and the green, and we've put massive drainage in there, and we're still losing that war. So I'd like to open it up into a rock creek, and I think it would be really beautiful, and
Absolutely.
It would solve all that drainage stuff.
I tell people all the time. I tell people all the time, Bill, that they come and they're like, "There's some bare spots," and I'm like, "Well, you're on a mountain that's solid stone," and I said, "When you take a divot and then people drive a golf cart over it, it pulls it even more." And so most, right now we're still on winter rules. We don't get off the path till later in the year. But it's because, under the grass, I mean, it's rock.
Yeah.
And, and I think that's what makes the Highlands course personally more difficult than the Keep, because you're either in play or you're not. There's no, I think I can hit it. You're either in or out. There's no middle ground. But it's fair. If you know where to hit it and you know how to play it and you're smart, you can get through the course pretty easily. But if you try and get aggressive, or you don't think the wind's blowing the way it is or blowing hard, you can get hammered really quick.
Yeah. We expanded that golf course tremendously. I don't know if you remember the old course, but I don't know if it had just grown in, but we widened the Highlands course a good bit on as many holes as we could to make it more playable, because it's a members course and it's a resort course. And, people are there to have a great time and enjoy the beauty. And we wanted less lost golf balls. Simple as that. And so there's still a few dramatic moments. I mean, you can't get past number 6, but we lengthened that fairway 50 yards and we widened it about 20 or 30 to the left.
Wow.
And left is where you hit it. If you play number 6, just drive it left. It's almost as far as you can go left. And then it opens up the green and you can see a little much better.
I'm not giving any pointers to the people playing in the tournament. But if you try and hit, if there's any wind in the air and you try and get on 6 and 2, you're going to look at a double or worse sometimes. And
you can't control that second shot, can you?
If my number of birdies has immensely grown, because I'll just hit a 5-wood down there, punch an 8-iron down into the fairway, and I have a 100-yard wedge shot, and you just get it up and make the putt, and it's easy.
Yeah, I like going for it in 2, but I'm a glutton for punishment. So
there are many times I do go for it, and if the wind's whipping, I'm not going to lie, I put a nice Pro V1 back in my bag, and I'll grab something else to hit.
Great.
There you go.
That's good.
Hey, another thing Bill's doing real quick that I wanted to mention, I commented on his Facebook. So we have a course here in Chattanooga that hosted a PGA Tour tournament, the Chattanooga Classic, for years. And they always had an amateur tournament called the Redbud Classic. And Jimmy White, who played at Baylor and then played at Tennessee, is a really close friend of mine. And he and his partners have purchased it, and they brought Bill in to redo it. And it was, Bill, I'll tell you, with APT, we try and get the best courses we can for our players. And we want to show them things that they wouldn't normally see. And between me, on this call, I'll tell you, we were not going to go back to Valley Brook because it was just rough. And you know how it was. But on Facebook, looking at the pictures of that place, and Jimmy texts me pictures all the time, and I live in Macklemore, so that's, if I go to Valley Brook, I feel like I need to pack a suitcase. But
it's an hour.
It's a good hour drive, but I can't wait to get back out there. It looks great.
Good. And we've just barely touched it so far. We've done 7 or 8 bunkers, and we're about to take down what was the 18th hole. It's going to be the 9th hole, and we're going to actually make a long par 3 out of it.
Wow.
It's going to be beautiful. 240, big
Oh,
par
wow.
3. Because they're expanding the clubhouse and swim and tennis and pickleball and all that stuff, and they need more room. And then we've got a beautiful plan for the whole golf course that's going to be amazing. And so it'd probably take us 2 or 3 years to get there. But Jimmy's committed nicely to it, and Sean, our superintendent, has the greens really good.
Very good.
They're not the right size, but
Right.
and they're not the right slope, but he's got them the best I've seen them. And so I've been looking at the golf course for a while, and we're going to do a tremendous amount of drainage. We're going to give it a 3-dimensional feel. I think there's only 15 feet of fall on that entire property, and that's all on on original holes. I guess 5. Which will become 14, and then over later on 7, which will become 16. So,
well, I'll admit
I'm all confused.
I'm really excited about it, and the drainage in that area is always rough. That course. Here's an example. Across the street, there's a course called Creek Spin. I've had cuffs on my arms one time. I wasn't arrested because Buddy Templeton, that owns Creek Spin, came out and realized it was me and some other guys. But it rained. And we decided to ride our Sea-Doos on number 1 and 2 fairway. And so the cops got called, and then Buddy found out it was us, so he let us go. But it was.
There's a lot of history out at Valley Brook.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that. And so we're looking forward to a new history.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a really fun golf course, and it's going to look great, play great. So we're pretty excited about
There's
it.
only so many places Payne Stewart's won a golf tournament.
And Brad Faxon
Wow.
was a winner there.
Okay.
Yep. You guys probably know Jeff Sherrill if you're in Chattanooga.
We don't I do, but we don't advertise it.
Yeah, but he's definitely a promoter of that relationship, and he and they were teammates at Furman, and that's pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome.
He caddied for him some, and he caddied for him when he won that tournament at Valley Brook.
That's
and,
right. That's right.
Jeff had a brain surgery, and one of the best guys you'll meet. He's hilarious. He caddies at the Honors now, still full time, and it's always a treat when he grabs your bag.
Nice.
There you go. Well, Bill, I want to thank you for coming on and talking through this. Nathan, I want to thank you for making the arrangements. This is really good to get a little bit of the history of the golf course, both the courses, and then also just a little bit about the area. Some of the other stuff that's in your all's neck of the woods. So.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. And when we reopen Valley Brook, we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Sounds good. All right.
Bill,
Thanks,
I appreciate you, sir.
Yep. You guys have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right, see you.
All right. Oh boy. There he is again in the background. Well, we may have a special guest. I want to see if he's going to be able to make it. Because those of you in the APT family might know that, we did have that High Point upset, and somebody that we know might have played basketball there.
Hey, Fegley.
Yeah.
I'm not in the marketing side of this stuff, but I haven't seen Ricky Fowler running on a treadmill yet.
Oh, that is a good point. We can take a break. Thank you very much. Now you're going to train me on.
Good luck making it work.
There we go. Let's see. All right, let's get Ricky Fowler on a treadmill.
2 under. Quality fabrics. No roll waistband. Joey pouch. Elevate and separate. No chafing. What more could you ask for?
See, so instead of me, looking at my phone, you got Ricky Fowler on a treadmill and one of our good old partners there at 2 under. But we were going to have Ivan Jones. Ivan, those of you may or may not know, actually did play basketball at High Point. So we were talking. I actually called him right after the game was over, and I was like, "How you doing?" He's like, I did put a few dollars on my guys, so he was a happy camper. So I was going to bring him on as the world famous High Point alumnus, but he's got as those of you that know Ivan, he's got all his kids, similar situation as Bill. Got the kids running around and doing some stuff. So that was going to be our special guest, but he wasn't able to make it. But again, congratulations to him. Congratulations to High Point on getting that victory over the Wisconsin Badgers. So, Timmy, any thoughts?
No, I mean, just kind of wrapping that up and everything and put me on the spot. I appreciate that from
Absolutely.
going on. But, it's not often we get Nathan on. So let's, Nathan, any high points on your schedule or anything like that you want to go over? Kind of talk about what y'all got coming up in East Tennessee.
Yes, sir. A couple weeks we have the Battle on Cumberland, which is going to be at Bear Trace Cumberland Mountain. It's a beautiful course. It is punishing. It is not an easy course. We've got later in the year, we're going to go up to Blackthorn again. We went in the fall, and I played it on my way to Omni Homestead, and it is ETSU's home course, and it is. I'll just say I had 2 members email me like, "Hey, this is the Amateur Players Tour. That course is too hard." And I said, I realize it's not an easy course, but everybody's playing the same course, and it's a treat to play. And we've got some other stuff. We added one at Dogwood Hills, which is, I swear, it's more YouTube content creators. I played up there in a YouTube thing a while back that just went kind of crazy, and it's a great course. It's one of the funnest places you'll play, and it's always a treat. People will love that one. But we have a few others, and I will add, I went down and played with Tim in the tournament he had a couple.
Oh yeah,
not Monday. This last Monday, the Monday before at White Columns, and I've played everywhere. I feel like most places, and I played White Columns for the first time, and that place is legit. That is a great course. Tim ran a great tournament. It was very seamless, just him, and we helped him where we could, and I worked his little registration table so he could go warm up. But and I'm cool with that. I'll always help. But it was a great course, and I will say, if you're near the Atlanta area and you see that place pop back up, I would definitely, if you can get to it, I would definitely.
Appreciate you saying that, and honestly, we've got its sister course coming up about a month and a half, the Tuesday after Memorial Day. For those of y'all that aren't going to be down at PGA National, we've got a place called the Manor Golf Club, and it's the sister course of White Columns that Nathan's talking about. That's, I think, is going to be just every bit as spectacular. So if you're looking for somewhere to play that week, definitely give us a look. And it's funny that you bring that course up. I know we've all played these places at certain points in time in our life where you get out of the golf cart or get out of your truck and you go, I don't have my golf shoes on. I need to get back in the truck and put my golf shoes on. This place isn't quite one of those, but it's right on the borderline of being one of those, in my personal opinion, if you think about it that way. So,
fair enough. All right, I did want to go through the tournament stuff so far. So, Frank Romano is leading right now with 7 points, has Arizona as the national championship. Jersey Johnson is right there tied with Arizona as the national champion as well.
2 years in a row for Jersey.
I know.
Leading out of the gate. Come on now.
Exactly. And we got one more, Tony Arcisi. This is why I'm bad at this job. Poor, he's got mission.
That's why you're not a first tee announcer, sir.
Exactly. So, so far so good. Got some winnings going on. But just wanted to kind of refresh with that. Those of you that don't know, use Matt Minder's the APT at Matt Minder to send the donations in, and as we calculate stuff, we'll figure out what the prizes are going to be. But those of you that did enter, thank you, and we'll see how things go. But yeah, guys, Questions? Anybody out there?
I'm
I
gonna hit
got
on
one
the-
more. If you can look back at my pictures, there's a picture of like a clubhouse with 2 APT flags in front of it.
Yes, I can bring that up.
So one thing I did this year that was a little different, I feel like last year at Macklemore, the wind was blowing so hard. They had tents set up on the range, and I feel like they had to have, forgot it was a new chapter owner. I forgot his name, but I felt like every time the wind was blowing hard, his job was to go get the papers that blew off and bring them back. So it's an auxiliary clubhouse. It's just a small, we use it sometimes for parties and little things like that. But I've got this thing rented, or I wouldn't say rented. I told him I was going to use it. But that's going to be our tournament headquarters for the weekend. So when you see that and you see those 2 flags, that's where you register. That's where you'll get your tea gifts. We're going to have valet tags so that when you get done playing tomorrow and Saturday, you can put these valet tags on your bag, and there's just storage in the back of the building, and we can keep your clubs there. So you don't have to deal with valet at the hotel and taking them to your room and all that stuff. It's just going to make things a lot smoother and a lot easier. When we play the Keep on Saturday, when you're finished playing, you will actually, if you want to buy anything in the pro shop, go get it. Then you'll get back on the shuttle and come back over, and we'll actually do scoring in that building as well. So everything will be centrally located. All tournament info, everything you need will be in that building, and it's right next to the range.
Okay. Next to the range, look for the flags, look for that nice little, I mean, dude, that's a little sweet little building, man. Good deal.
Yeah, it needs to be torn down eventually. There's windows that won't close and stuff like that, but it's got heat, it's got air, it's got bathrooms, and they will not let me rent it from them for club work. But I do all the club work, but I'm still trying.
There you go. There you go.
All right, last time, go away.
Oh, what
God.
are you eating?
I don't want any of it. He needs to eat baby food. He just walks on the screens like that.
Just remember, Frazier, you invited him to stay at your house.
No, I didn't. He called me and asked me if he could stay, and I'm too nice to say no.
Fair enough. I'm looking at Levi Lynch's comment about all of the local chapter owners and how they're doing such a great job. I just want to hit them up really quick because he mentioned them. Rich in Phoenix, Troy in SoCal, Chase in Las Vegas, and last, I'm going to say least, whatever you want to look, Dennis in Utah, So it is what it is, guys. They're all killing it out there in the Southwest. I have become a fan of Southwest U.S. golf. The last 2 trips I've made west, I've really had a great time, and I'm looking forward again to the national championship out there at the end of the year, and really excited to play those golf courses.
Yep. That is going to be a good time. So
I love being out there because I feel like I hit the ball a freaking mile.
that is the other nice thing about the desert air is we've got, you got the beautiful temperatures that allow that thing to go a little bit farther. So with that, guys, anything else?
Any questions from the chat?
Yeah, we got anything out there? You guys see anything?
The funniest comment that always happens when we talk about both of these courses is old Gus McSpanky. I saw him put it in the chat earlier. He came and he played here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think he went to Pinehurst maybe, or Pebble Beach or something. And he can comment and he'll tell us. Here it is. He said, even walking downhill feels uphill. He said, I did this 3 weeks later. I did Augusta and I had to get a new hip. And he said, all he could remember Mender was telling him, it's all flat. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
That's the encouragement. There's no hills. There's no hills. It's all flat.
One other thing, we're talking, and everybody's staying at the resort hotel at Macklemore this weekend while they're up there. There is also a small sporting event that's happening this weekend. Frazier, is there anywhere good to watch this small sporting event happening this weekend while they're
Yeah,
on property?
so the main restaurant at the hotel has two massive big screens with chairs all around them to watch games. The Craig, which I'm in right now, which is our main clubhouse.
Mhm.
Tim, you were here last year when Matt saw my member number.
Oh
And
yeah,
I,
heart attack
that
from
was,
Nathan. Oh, yeah.
we've got, there's 6 TVs in the actual Craig area. And then where I'm at right now, that Alderucci can't decide if he wants to stay in or go out. He's like a kid without Adderall. And there's 2 TVs in here. And so from 6 to 9 tomorrow, I have reserved this room, and we'll do it like we did last year. And I'm not paying for your meal, but you can come up here. We're all going to eat, just spend time together. When people are here, there's not many places to go. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite events that I ever played in with APT, and I felt like I enjoyed it more than anything, was Stream Song. And that was because everybody was there.
Yep.
And everybody was hanging out and spending time together because there was nowhere else to go. And it was just fun. I enjoyed that. So I try and create that here when I can. And we'd love to have you. Usually it works out. The people that play well the first day, they all come eat. The people that don't play well, they go to their room, and we don't see them till the next day.
Yeah.
But either way, if you play bad, if you play good, no one cares.
No one cares.
Come join it.
The point is to go have fun. That's the whole thing.
Absolutely.
That is the whole thing.
Nathan, you hit on what we were kind of touching on at the end of last week's show, is that's what we're all about when it's all said and done. Yeah, the competition, we're all about competition and competing and winning prizes and trophies and that thing. But even more importantly than that, we want to hang out. We want to be a community. We want to be welcoming to everyone and make sure everybody's having as much fun as we can possibly get them to have.
Absolutely. One thing here that, I joined I know you guys know, I still play competitive, like mid-am circuit stuff.
Mhm.
Used to be am, but I'm old now. And so I still play mid-am stuff. And I joined the APT because I didn't like low balls, because I felt like I was pressured to make birdie putts that I wouldn't normally try and make. And I felt like it made me too aggressive, and I just missed putts. And then, so I was doing it to still be in competitive tournaments in the wintertime, just in the off season. And I started doing it, and then I was like, man, these are fun people. I really enjoy this. And of course, it was when I started in D2, and of course I was playing great. And I remember the call from I had to call Fegley after that Atlanta weekend, and I said, sorry. First thing I said was sorry. And then I got bumped to D1, but I mean, I played fine in D1. I just, I really enjoy the people.
Yep.
It's good people. There's no, you always got your one guy, but we're not naming names. We're not calling people out, but I mean, I've just made good friends. I mean,
Yep.
I see Rodney Oden, who's in the chat. Rodney's playing D4 for Tennessee East.
Yep.
And he's just like a champion for APT. I go set up a tournament. Rodney will come. He'll set up my tees. He'll pull everything down. He's always got a good attitude. Everybody loves him. And, we've become good friends. He's a great person. And I care for him a lot. And to me, that's important to me.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
That and Ricky Fowler on a treadmill.
That's exactly right. I mean,
because the hardest question I've ever had to ask from my wife, what does he mean by elevate and separate? Because every time that commercial comes on, she asks me, what does that mean? Elevate and separate. And Johnny Pierce, I love Johnny Pierce too. He said, thanks for not mentioning me.
If we mention Johnny, though, it becomes non-suitable for work. So, I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Johnny will go out and shoot 72 one day and 89 the next day, and he'll say it's almost there.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, this is like a nursery, man.
It is. And
it's like babysitting.
So I don't know if you guys, every so often I'm like, oh, what's going on? So North Carolina somehow had an 18-point lead, and now the game is tied, and somehow VCU has the ball.
Yeah, let's don't talk about this right now because
Wow.
Hey, one thing I want to add, if you're bored, we all have that time when we just start clicking on APT schedules and the tournament we're about to play
There
in
you
and hitting
go.
people's buttons and see what they shoot. Who's this guy I'm paired with? That number 8, if you're bored, go back to 2025 and look at the APT tournament and look at the cumulative scoring average on number 8 from the field.
Okay.
We had 40-mile-an-hour winds, and just take a gander at it. It's a blast.
Was there anybody not making triple?
Mazzotti had a birdie.
Okay.
He hit about a 50-foot putt for one. And then that was the only birdie. And
Nice.
the scoring average was very, very close to double bogey.
Wow.
And they were playing the tees up, and it was if you go over that green, it goes 30 yards down into the weeds.
Yeah.
That's just always good. Sitting there, don't have anything to do, stuff to read.
Exactly. Oh, I remember the conditions at that one. Let's go see how it went for everybody. Bayonet number 9. That one was probably
right.
That hole.
Mine was Lake. Well, I'll just say the entire course at Lake Tansy 2 weeks ago. We had Fegley. I called you after it.
Yes.
Because Braden Bean, who's leading Division I in Tennessee East, has never shot a round over par in APT ever, and he shot 78.
Yes.
He had 4 birdies, including a 9, and then a couple quads.
Ugh.
Or he had a 9 on a par 4, and then he had a lot of bogeys, and it was wild. They mowed and double rolled the greens. They had just punched the rough, so they cut the rough down. So if you hit it in the fairway and it bounced in the rough, it could bounce all the way out of bounds if you weren't careful.
Oh, geez. It's
a course that, it's bent grass. Every piece of it's bent, so it's always perfect. And it looked so beautiful, but I'll never forget, after everybody was gone, people were making the turn. And if you played in my tournament, y'all know me, I'm a putter guy. And so I go out in the putting green, and I hit one putt. It was like a 5-foot putt. I had a 15-footer coming back, and I was like, oh, God. But, yeah, Michael Osborne just put in the chat, Division II winning score was plus 11.
Nice. The good old 83
it was a day.
winner.
Speaking of holes, we did forget to ask Bill about one thing we talked about asking about.
Oh, yeah.
Your experience at Chariots Run. That would have been fun
yes,
to hear
that
him
would have been
explain.
funny to explain my multiple balls, my multiple shots into the water, and me just going, I'm not going to be able to hit it over the water. So I'm just done for the day.
So I remember the first time I ever met Bill up here at Macklemore. We went to I had just gotten done playing in the Georgia Mid-Am, and it was at Dalton Country Club, and he had just redone it.
Okay.
And it was a year later, and I went and played a practice round. It was about to start. I hadn't played in the tournament yet. I played a practice round. And he was up here in the member lounge, and we were just chatting and, spending time with him, stuff like that. We have people about every 2 or 3 months that come up that are known in the industry, and we'll just chat with them. I hit a ball into number 1. I hit it 3 feet from the pin, and the ball bounced 2 feet higher than the actual flagstick and ended up on 2 tee box.
Jeez.
And I'll never forget, I walked in and I looked at him. He said, oh, you must be Nathan. And I said, you must be the guy that redid Dalton. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I hit a ball into number 1 and it bounced onto number 2 tee box and it hit 2 feet from the pin. And so literally when I called him yesterday and I said, hey, Bill, it's Nathan. And his first comment, every time he sees me, he's like, how's Dalton? He says it every time. How's Dalton?
There you go. There you go. Oh, my gosh. Well, anyhow, man, have a great time this weekend. Enjoy being the hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
One of these times I will make it down there. Those of you that are going, have a blast. Timmy, with that, send it off.
Yep, I think we're over time, so I know Chris would be having his heart attack if he were the one running the show. So let's.
Well, I'll tell you, if you saw me pull the light off myself and send a text, Chris was waiting at the back gate to get in, and they changed the codes. So I had to text somebody to go up there and let him in, and I can delay that as long as you want. He can sit there as long as you want.
No, we don't know. He has been on the highway since this morning. I don't think we need
Yeah. Guys, I enjoyed being on, and I appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, Nathan.
Yep. Until next time. Which one we're going with? There we go. This one.
We, the people, are desperate for common ground.
Oh, my fault.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Get there. Get there. Get there.
Get there. Those two words are said by golfers all over the world as a sign of respect, a whisper of encouragement, a roar of support. It's what we say to our competitors, our loved ones, our heroes. It's what we say to ourselves.
Get there.
At Worldwide Golf, we're like you. We strive to improve our game, to elevate our standards, and transcend our limits. Our commitment is to the journey, to the tradition, and to the spirit of golf that unites us all. Since 1963, Worldwide Golf has been there to supply golfers with the equipment and apparel they need to drive their journeys forward. With over 100 retail locations spread across 10 retail brands and the best golf e-commerce websites, we have exactly what every golfer needs for however they choose to play. All of this done to help golfers who want to be their best get there. We are golfers, and we're here for golfers. We built a brand around evolving the game and having what you need to play your way, and it shows in every product we offer and every experience we provide. Our goal is singular, to help you get there. Though the game may change, our mission remains. To stand beside you, to grow with you, to celebrate every victory and learn from every shot. Worldwide Golf. Get there.